This is a Heart and Hand production.
Hello everyone, it's David here with unfortunately another post-mortem after another poor Rangers performance sees us go down 2-1 to Hearts in Edinburgh, and that makes it sound closer than it was. Rangers' goal came in the last second and Hearts were pretty comfortable throughout this match. The old saying is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. But Rangers don't have much talent. We're not a very good side, so hard work needs to become the minimum. But Hearts wanted that more than we did today. They were sharper, they were well organised, and they were better. They were better all over the park. And in the end, Rangers, who actually started okay, not great, but okay, and were competitive, lose a goal, lose our heads, lose another goal disgracefully through to Jack Butland. There's more errors in the first one, but through to Jack Butland mistakes, and Rangers never thought in the second half that we could turn it around. You could tell, and of course didn't. The fact is Rangers did actually start okay, not great as I say, but we were competitive. We were causing Hearts a few problems, particularly from set pieces. Thought we scored. Tav corner was headed down, and at first it looked in by Manny Fernandez, but Bojan Miovski's come in at the back post and touched it home. I think he did probably need to, because I think it might have been either going wide or hitting the post, but he was judged to be offside, although the lines looked pretty dodgy on this very cheap version of VAR that Scottish football runs. The big man should have scored though. Fernandez, I think it was a really good chance. He should have been heading that directly in, and no need for it. And a few minutes later, although again he might have been offside, from another good Tav delivery, Nico Raskin headed over the bar. And I think the really frustrating thing is that the game at that point was there for us, but we were so bad in the middle of the park in particular. Raskin is just a non-event. Diamandi looks as though he wants to go, and we should give him his wish. He was awful and hooked at half-time again, just before he had time to do one of his get me out of here sent-off tackles that luckily didn't connect. And Barron works hard, but he doesn't have the quality on the ball, and it is frustrating because with a wee bit more quality we could have been dominant in that game. And then we give away a really stupid goal. Jack Butland's had an absolute howler for the next 10 minutes. First of all, under no pressure from a goal kick, he gives the ball away. 2 seconds later, Hearts have got a corner. This is basic. Rangers leave a 2-on-1. And this, I mean, you don't do that playing at school. You just don't. And of course, Hearts work it well, and it's a good ball into the box, and Finley's heading it home. Good header as well. But how does that happen? And then the next goal has to be seen to be believed. Not great defending by Rangers, but even so, Lawrence Shankland's just a hit and hope wide. He's hoping the keeper touches it round and they get a corner. Butland inexplicably decides to move it the way, really. I've no idea what he's trying, and lets it into a gap that wasn't there until he moved himself. It's a dreadful goal to concede. It really is appalling from Butland. And that's the thing with Rangers, you just feel that somebody's going to sell the jerseys. And so often we do. The second half, the manager's changed it. It didn't work. He didn't have a good day either. And he changed to a back four, but yeah, Rangers never really looked like scoring. And to be honest, every time we got a corner, it seemed Hearts broke on us, and they should have scored a few more. Shankland in particular has missed an absolute sitter. But every time that a set piece of ours broke down, and they were breaking down constantly, we had no threat at all in the second half from set pieces. Hearts countered on us. We scored an injury time, last kick of the ball stuff, and actually it's the much maligned use of Chermiti, who was off the bench, and it's actually a good goal. He doesn't give one up. The Hearts defender doesn't really know what to do with it. Bit of complacency there because he knows it's finishing, but he finished it well. But that sort of attitude we didn't see throughout the game from him or from any of the rest of them. They're just really bad. They're just a really bad squad. There's just a lack of talent there, first and foremost. They're just not very good. But you kind of expect the work rate then to make up for that, or at least attempt to. It probably can't. in bigger games, but you would hope that it would be. But they're mentally so weak as well. I mean, as I say, they lose a goal and then they lose another one a few seconds later. That's mentality. But none of this is news to us. The squad is awful. I mean, it's appalling. It's really, really bad. And, you know, they've been digging out results here and there, but performances, we've said ourselves, you know, are not, as fans, we've said the performances are not good and they will catch you up. The truth is, though, that I don't think there is any level to be unlocked with these guys. They just need replaced as much as you can for starting in January. Because we've seen them for 6 months now. This is how they play. And sometimes they get a result because we have slightly better players than others. Today we came up against a team that we don't have better players than. Really that simple. Now, we can talk about for the money that's been spent on these two squads, why that is a disgrace, but we know that already. But that was just, you know, Rangers running into a team that were... I mean, if you were a neutral and you were looking at this game today, you would have thought Hearts were going to win. And it went the way you would have thought because they're a better team than us, as painful as that is to admit. So, yeah, another piss-poor day from this Rangers team. They're not going to be in a title race because, well, they're not going to win a title race because they just don't have the quality, the mentality, the work rate, the desire, whatever you want to call it. The only one in the second half that looked as though he cared particularly was Fernandes. And, you know, some of the players, Tavernier's done. You know, Butland's got a mistake in him constantly. Raskin and Diamandi don't look particularly interested. Aarons is a complete non-event as a footballer. And that, you know, the lack of quality up front was spoken about all season. So, yeah, pish, really. Another painful one for all of us. So that's the last I'll speak to you before Christmas. Seems a bit redundant just now, but have a Merry Christmas when it comes, except Kevin Thelwell. Right, thank you for joining me, and I'll be back when we take on Motherwell on the 27th. Until then, have a wonderful Christmas if you can. Thanks.